Hello everyone, welcome to CNA Daily Newspaper Analysis. So today we are back with the following topics that you can see in the content list. Okay, so let's go with the today's discussion. Okay, chalo. The first one being the government e-marketplace. Okay, it's directly a news from your GS2 paper perspective. Okay, so when I say about the government e-marketplace, I directly can assume that the government e-marketplace is a one-stop national public procurement portal that facilitate the online procurement of common use goods and services required by various central and state government departments, and even that can include the PSUs, that is the public sector enterprises. So the procurement of goods and services by the ministries and the central public sector enterprises is very much mandatory for goods and services available on this GEM platform, that is the government e-market platform. Okay, and thereby it provides the tools of e-bidding and reverse e-auction to facilitate the government use and achieve the best value of their money from which they are directly going on with the respective business. So in this very category of GEM, we could see that this particular thing was launched back by in 2019. 2019 में इसको लॉन्च कर दिया गया था, okay, in full fledged way. But if I see to the particular history of this launch, ये 2016 में ही शुरू हो गया था पहले, लेकिन 2019 आते आते we can see that it is directly performing in a full fledged manner. और ये गवर्नमेंट क्यों करना चाहता है? The government wanted this GEM to be in practice to bring in more transparency and efficiency in the government's buying process. तो यहाँ पे अभी क्या न्यूज में है? Over 300 cooperatives on board GEM platforms as buyers. So today we could see that this cooperatives nowadays is dealing with the Ministry of Commerce and Industries, because the GEM is particularly an invention of this respective ministry, or with this ministry we can see that they are directly performing the government e-palace marketplace. So इसका अगर मैं significance पे चला जाऊं government e-marketplace का और GEM का, we can see that GEM is very much transparent and cost-effective procurement. Also, it promotes the very mandate of Atmanirbhar Bharat, because we could see that the Atmanirbhar Bharat policy that is introduced in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic mean to encourage self-reliance and boost small Indian manufacturers is an important categorization of the government e-marketplace. Also, this government e-marketplace have a necessity of the entry of the small local sellers who directly goes for some form of public procurement. And by procuring such things, we can directly implement the Make in India and also the MSME purchase preferences policies of the government in some of the through sets. So thereby, we could see that multiple entities can be segregated at one place, and we could directly see that various products built on the preferences provided by the state governments with respective to the small enterprises can be very well established in this government e-market palace. Okay, so now the government is directly trying to build up this respective ambitions to grow in size and become a one-stop shop for both buyers and sellers. It has also gotten to get a great start as it is gradually building an efficient and reliable marketplace ecosystem, where the government has the plans to effectively overcome the challenges that limits its growth, and it could also be as precious as the shiny mineral crystals that are invoked in its particular name period. तो ये डायरेक्टली एक वन स्टॉप गवर्नमेंट ई मार्केटप्लेस है, एंड इसके थ्रू से गवर्नमेंट डायरेक्टली सेलर्स और बायर्स को एक ही पर्टिकुलर प्लेटफॉर्म में लाना चाहता है, सो दैट दे कुड हैव सम ऑफ द इक्वल शेयर ऑफ द बेनिफिट्स दैट दे डायरेक्टली रिटेन. Okay, so this is a particular analysis, or that's a particular brief overview of the government e-marketplace, where the government is trying its level best, okay, to directly save various number of percentage of the savings from the procurement purposes, and also from various number of establishment, various number of startups that is newly getting into slowly into the respective market. तो ये एक छोटा न्यूज था अबाउट गवर्नमेंट ई मार्केट प्लेस. ओके, सो लेट्स गो विद द न्यू वन, दैट इज द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. ओके, The next one is directly going with the ONDC. Okay, हम लोग अगर ONDC के बारे में बोले तो this is directly going with the ONDC. So this respective ONDC, if I have to give a brief analysis of this ONDC, we can see that today the open network for digital commerce, इसका अगर मैं full form बोलने जाऊं, then I would directly say that open network for digital commerce. मैं यहाँ पे लिख देता हूँ open network for digital commerce. So this open network for digital commerce is a platform, okay, where it aims at promotion of open networks developed on open sourced methodology using open specifications and open network protocols that is very much of independent on any specific platform. This project directly wants to integrate the e-commerce platforms through a network-based open source technology, which has been taxed to the Quality Council of India, which is known as QC. Okay. So the implementation of the ODC, which is expected to be on the lines of the UPI, जैसे हम लोग organize करते हैं UPI, that is the Unified Payment Interface. It could bring various operational aspects put in place by e-commerce platforms at the respective same level. So here also with ONDC, the buyers and sellers may transact irrespective of the fact that they are attached to one specific e-commerce portal. And hence we have got a many number of significance with respect to these ONCs. Because if the ONCs gets implemented and mandated, it would mean that all e-commerce companies will have to operate using the same processes like the Android-based mobile devices. Also, it could give a huge booster shot to smaller online retailers and some of the new entrants in this respective e-commerce market. Also, we can see that with the effective use of the ONDC, it is very much expected that to digitize the entire value chain, standardize the various operation which promotes even the inclusion of the suppliers, it can derive various efficiencies in the logistic purpose and can enhance the value of the respective consumers through the e-commerce site platforms. तो अगर अभी पूछने जाओ कि सर हम लोग तो ओपन सोर्स बोल रहे तो ये ओपन सोर्स होता क्या है? See, when I will make a software or a process where I will directly use an open source, it means that the codes or the steps of that process is available very much freely for even the others to use. And even such number of steps or the processes is very much be able to modify itself according to the needs of the consumer. For example, मैं अगर बोलूं, while operating the system of the Apple iPhone, that is the iOS, that is a closed source, meaning it cannot be legally modified or reverse engineered. But still, we could see that Google's Android operating system is open source. And therefore, it is possible by smartphone manufacturers such as Samsung, Xiaomi, okay, OnePlus, etc. to modify it for their respective hardware. तो iPhone आज अगर मैं बोलने जाऊं तो iOS अगर मैं बोलूं तो iOS is a closed source. Okay, it cannot be modified, it cannot be reversely engineered. तो ये closed source है. इसको मैं ऑल्टर नहीं कर सकता हूं, इसको बस एप्पल ही ऑल्टर कर सकते हैं, इसमें बस एप्पल ही अपडेट्स डाल सकते हैं अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर रिस्पेक्टिव रिक्वायरमेंट्स. But various other companies today which are using the Android phones or Android OS operating system, be it what I have told about Xiaomi, Realme, Vivo, okay, then there's Poco, okay, then there's respective Samsung, OnePlus, जो Android यूज कर रहे हैं, ये अपने रिक्वायरमेंट्स के हिसाब से अपना हार्डवेयर अपना चेंज कर सकते हैं, because it is directly an open source software. Open source इसका directly step processes and where you can freely monitor and redistribute or modify its basic requirements. तो इसको बोलते हैं हम लोग open source. Okay, तो अभी यहाँ पे क्या हो गया? Microsoft is very much eager to onboard such number of platform which is directly going with such number of ONDCs. Okay, और गवर्नमेंट भी इसके इनिशिएटिव के थ्रू से, तो because government has got various regulations, various acts, be it the Consumer Protection Act, be it the Consumer Protection e-commerce rules of 2020, everything is there with respect to this e-commerce. तो अगर मैं ई-कॉमर्स के बारे में बोलूं which is directly associated with this ONDC, हम लोग बहुत सारे टाइप्स ऑफ ई-कॉमर्स देखते हैं. Just like we can see B2C, that is the business to consumer, B2B, business to business, C2C, consumer to consumer, P2P, peer to peer. Then we can see MC to MC, that is the M commerce to mobile commerce. तो you can see that such number of things are very much relevant in today's time. So if we have to directly go with such number of ONDCs, such number of open system, thereby to increase its particular reach to the commoners, because अभी भी हम लोग का इंडिया में स्मार्टफोन सबके पास अवेलेबल नहीं है. So therefore, we are directly planning on to even give some of the outsider companies such as Microsoft to directly launch such number of platforms, to directly launch such number of techniques or such number of processes in the current system what we have today in this respective e-commerce sites. ओके तो ये एक पर्टिकुलर एनालिसिस है विद रिस्पेक्टिव टू द ओएनडीसी. ओके चलो आते हैं नेक्स्ट पे. ओके कमिंग टू द GS3 एनवायरमेंट रिलेटेड सब्जेक्ट्स और एनवायरमेंट रिलेटेड टॉपिक दैट इज द मानस नेशनल पार्क. ओके तो ये हम लोग अगर मानस नेशनल पार्क के बारे में देखें तो वी नो दैट मानस नेशनल पार्क इज एन इंपॉर्टेंट नेशनल पार्क इन द एरिया ऑफ असम और इन दिस वेरी एरिया ऑफ नॉर्थ ईस्ट. ओके तो अगर मैं देखूं अबाउट द ओरिजिन ऑफ द नेम ऑफ द मानस नेशनल पार्क, व्हाट वी कैन सी दैट द नेम मानस comes from the river Manas that flows through the national park, and the Hindu deity Manasa. Okay, Hindu deity is Manasa. That is what? That is the literal meaning of Manasa is the snake goddesses. So therefore, if I see about the Manas National Park, which is located in 2 districts of Assam, be it Bongaigaon, okay, मैं लिख देता हूँ, be it Bongaigaon, and be it the respective area of Borpeta. इन 2 एरिया में हम लोग क्या देखते हैं? मानस नेशनल पार्क को देखते हैं. Okay, that is in Bongaigaon and also in Barpeta area, these 2 districts. So we can see that situated in this particular foothills of the Himalayas, the park is very much contiguous with the Royal National Park in Bhutan. And River Brahmaputra, River Manas is also a major tributary to the River Brahmaputra that divides the national park into 2 halves and forms a direct physical border with Bhutan. So therefore, we have seen that if I go to a brief history of the Manas, we can see that previously the Raja of Gauripur and the royal family of Coach Bihar used this very region of Manas National Park as a hunting ground. By the time of 1905, the Manas was proposed to become a reserve forest, or you can see it is very much protected at that point of time in 1905. By the time of 1907, it was declared a reserve forest. ओके सो 1905 में प्रपोज किया गया था कि हम लोग को इसमें जो भी जानवर होते हैं, जो भी ये स्पीसीज, जो भी ये एनवायरनमेंट के लिए हम लोग का यूजफुल है, तो इसको हम लोग को बचाना पड़े. तो इस पे प्रपोज किया गया था 1905 में, लेकिन रिजर्व फॉरेस्ट को डिक्लेयर कब किया गया? 1907 में. फर्दर बाय द टाइम ऑफ 1928 इट वाज डिक्लेयर्ड एज अ गेम सेंचुरी. Okay, by the time of 1950 it was declared a wildlife sanctuary, and by the time of 1989 UNESCO declared Manas a biosphere reserve under the Man and Biosphere program of the UNESCO. By the time of 1990, you can saw Manas confirmed being a national park, and in 2003, Manas was declared the Chirang Ripu Elephant Reserve under Project Elephant. So in all these categories, we can see that Manas, because it is very much located at the foothills of the Himalayas, where various number of fine alluvial soil supports one of the richest biodiversity spots of the world. तो इसका altitude भी around 61 to 110 meters है above sea level, and also it has got an average temperature ranges of 15 to 30 degrees Celsius, which makes it very much suitable for the species, be it flora, be it fauna, to reside in this respective area. We also know that since it's directly coming under the Assam Valley, the Brahmaputra Valley, we could see that the average rainfall is over around 300 centimeters, and it occurs from the normal time period of the monsoons between May to September. तो यहाँ पे हम लोग देखते हैं we have got various number of trees, we have got various number of forested lands. Be it we can see deciduous forest, we can see evergreen forest, can see semi evergreen, we can see moist deciduous. तो ये सब हम लोग को यहाँ पे मिलता है. Okay, so therefore it's a very rich area, it's a very important area. जैसे हम लोग इसको बोलते हैं अभी फिलहाल के लिए we can see it's a important bird area also, where various number of birds directly flow. Directly, it's if I say about Bengal florican, okay, it's particularly a bird, the falcons. Okay, they are very much important area where we can see, which we can see, or the species which we can see in this respective area. और यहाँ पे लिखा ही गया है असम रूफ टर्टल, हिस्पिड हेयर, गोल्डन लैंगूर, पिग्मी हॉक, ये सब एक important necessities है in this respective area. Okay, if you wants to do something, चलो एक मैं तुम लोग को एक काम देता हूँ यहाँ पे. If you know what are the very other animals, मैंने तो यहाँ पे कम से कम 4-5 ही मेंशन बोला हूँ. There are some of the other animals ओके, सपोजिटली मैकाकोस, ओके, सपोजिटली बारासिंगा, बार्किंग डियर, ऐसे करके बहुत हम लोग का यहाँ पे स्पेसीज है. प्लीज राइट इन कमेंट सेक्शंस द नंबर ऑफ स्पेसीज दैट यू कैन फाइंड इन दिस मानस नेशनल पार्क. इट मे बी एनी टाइप, इट मे बी अ फ्लोरा, इट मे बी अ फौना. ओके, सो डू राइट इन द कमेंट सेक्शंस. तुम लोग क्या जानते हो, गेट अ सर्च, गूगल में जाके देखो. ओके, वहां पे जाके पढ़ो कौन कौन सा स्पीसीज यहाँ पे फाइंड आउट होता है, और कमेंट सेक्शन में मेरे को कमेंट किया. ओके, सो दैट यू कुड हैव अ बेटर नॉलेज दैट मानस नेशनल पार्क में कौन सा जानवर, कौन सा स्पीसीज बहुत ज्यादा पॉपुलर है. ओके, सो यू कैन साइज थिंग्स. तो मैं अगर यहाँ पे एक बार ब्रीफ में बोल लूं कि इन मानस नेशनल पार्क वी कैन सी 450 स्पीसीज ऑफ बर्ड. तुम्हें 450 नहीं लिखना है, लेकिन एटलीस्ट दो तीन तो लिखो. तो 450 species of bird we can find, 55 species of mammals we can find, 50 species of reptiles we can find, and 3 species of amphibians we can find. तो इस टाइप का कैटेगरीज होता है कहां पे, इन दिस रेस्पेक्टिव एरिया और इन दिस रेस्पेक्टिव प्रोटेक्टेड एरिया ऑफ मानस नेशनल पार्क. Okay, so you can see that we have got a wide range of flora and fauna in this respective category of Manas National Park. लेकिन अभी ये न्यूज में क्यों है, क्योंकि 2811 hectare of Manas National Park is under encroachments. Okay, so today because of the ever growing populations, okay, इंडिया तो सरपस होने वाला है 2023 तक, चाइना को भी सरपस कर लेगा. तो with the ever growing population, many are directly shifting towards where, the respective forested lands. सो आज हम लोग जो मैन एनिमल कन्फ्लिक्ट्स देखते हैं, ये मैन एनिमल कन्फ्लिक्ट्स किस लिए हो रहे हैं, जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ द एनक्रोचमेंट्स ऑफ द पीपल, ऑफ द ह्यूमंस इनसाइड द रिस्पेक्टिव फॉरेस्टेड लैंड्स. वो लोग हम लोग के घर पे नहीं आते, हम लोग उनके घर में घुस रहे हैं, because we are encroaching onto the land of the respective regions where we have got forested lands. तो इसीलिए ये पर्टिकुलर थिंग न्यूज में है. तो इसमें इसीलिए मानस नेशनल पार्क का इंपॉर्टेंस बढ़ जाता है. Okay, so you have to get an overview that why are this Manas National Park is very much a famous national park in this Assam, which are the respective species, the geography. तो अगर मैं असम का मैप ऐसे ड्रॉ कर दूं यहाँ पे, okay, this is a type of Assam map. So you can see that over from here the Manas National Park forms. तो ये मानस नेशनल पार्क हम लोग को नॉर्दर्न साइड ऑफ असम में मिलेगा, दैट इज टू द नॉर्दर्न इन द रिवर ब्रह्मपुत्र, नॉर्दर्न साइड टू द रिवर ऑफ ब्रह्मपुत्र. Okay, so it directly comes from over here, writing from the foothills of the Himalaya and ultimately joins the Brahmaputra river. So therefore species locations, okay, कौन सा एरिया में होता है, किस किस का, like supposedly if you have to know about such number of animals, okay, कि कौन सा IUCN रेड लिस्ट में इसका स्टेटस क्या है, वल्नरेबल है, क्रिटिकली एंडेंजर्ड है, एंडेंजर्ड है. सपोजली इफ आई से अबाउट पिग्मी हॉक, इट्स अ क्रिटिकली एंडेंजर्ड एनिमल. तो ऐसे ऐसे हम लोग को पढ़ना पड़ेगा विद रिस्पेक्टिव टू दिस मानस नेशनल पार्क. ठीक है, तो जस्ट गो थ्रू दिस कि कौन सा एनिमल मिलता है, कमेंट सेक्शन में लिखो. ओके, व्हिच आर द मेन एनिमल्स. ओके, और अगर उन लोग का आईयूसीएन स्टेटस भी मिलता है तो वो भी कमेंट में टाइप करो. ठीक है, सो दैट यू शुड हैव अ ग्रेटर एनालिसिस ऑफ दिस मानस नेशनल पार्क. ओके, तो चलो नेक्स्ट पे आते हैं, दैट इज द नेक्स्ट लाइन. तो वी कैन सी अबाउट the next being the Indian virtual herbarium. Okay, Indian virtual herbarium, इसको रब कर लेते हैं, just a second. Then coming to the analysis of the herbarium, which is coming with the next news, that is Indian virtual herbarium. See, when I say about the Indian virtual herbarium, we can see that a herbarium होता क्या है. A herbarium specimen is consisting of some of the dried plant parts with level information on scientific name and collection data. तो जितने भी हम लोग को स्पेसीज मिलता है, ओके, वॉट एवर स्पेसीज दैट वी कैन फाइंड, वी हैव डायरेक्टली कैटेगराइज्ड इट अंडर वेरियस हेड्स. हम लोग कैटेगराइजेशन करते हैं इसको, जैसे यहाँ पे देख सकते हो ऑल दिस टाइप ऑफ थिंग्स. ओके, तो these are some of the specimens that are directly connected of dried plant parts and they are labeled with their scientific names and collection data. So it has immense use in plant identification. It has immense use in systematic studies. It has immense use in various number of ecological studies. कि आज ये पेड़ हम लोग को क्यों नहीं मिलता, आज ये स्पीसीज हम लोग को क्यों नहीं मिलता, क्यों इसका एक्सटिंक्शन हुआ है, एवरीथिंग वी शुड डायरेक्टली गो विद सच नंबर ऑफ कैटेगरीज. तो ये इंडियन वर्चुअल हर्बेरियम, ये क्या, ये कौन ये कर रहा है, मेंटेन कर रहा है. तो वी कैन सी दैट द बोटानिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया has more than 30 lakhs herbarium specimen preserved in different herbaria located in different parts of the country. तो इन इसका एनालिसिस हम लोग का कौन करते हैं, बोटानिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया. एंड वी कैन सी दैट द साइंटिस्ट ऑफ दिस बीएसआई, ओके, ये लोग डायरेक्टली हर जगह जाके इस सब को पढ़ते हैं, इस सब का एनालिसिस करते हैं. ओके, एंड दे आर वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर टू रिकॉग्नाइज द क्लाइमेट चेंज, द हैबिटेट लॉस, फॉर देयर कंजर्वेशन, फॉर देयर रिप्लेनिशमेंट, एवरीथिंग इज पर्टिकुलर मेड थ्रू दिस नंबर ऑफ हर्बेरियम. सो इसका सिग्निफिकेंस बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. And even scientists say that there are approximately 3 million plant specimens in the country which are with different herbaria located at zonal centers in some of the BSIs. And amongst this, we could see that we have even collected 52% of this particular number of specimens, even some belonging to foreign nations. So this herbarium is very much deeply linked with the botanical history of the country. And the portal of this particular virtual herbarium, they directly provide some of the most valuable in the historical collections of the various number of forefathers of the respective botanical field. So we could see that this particular herbariums are very much of an essential area where we could have the virtual database of the flora in the country. And to generate some of the interest and turning out to be an eye-catching endeavor, many people or many future folks can directly come over to directly have an experience to such number of species or floras which literally got lost in the wild. So in this particular sense, we could directly help through, or we could directly make a revolutionary step alongside the BSI, that is the Botanical Survey of India, by collection of various number of specimens and keeping it in this Indian virtual herbarium. So through this, we could very much extract data, even state-wise, even regional-wise, and you could directly accumulate such number of things in the near coming times for the proper study of the botanical hereabouts. Okay, so ये एक particular short news था, okay, about the respective thing which is known as the Indian virtual herbarium. Okay, तो चलो next पे चलते हैं. See, when I go for cybercrime, ये अगर मैं साइबर क्राइम का एक बात बोल दूं, तो साइबर क्राइम is a very menace that is directly today the whole world is facing. So cybercrime directly comes under the non-traditional war crime. Okay, ये ट्रेडिशनल वार क्राइम नहीं है, ये बहुत पहले से मुगल के टाइम से चलते नहीं आ रहा है. इट हैज हार्डली emerged in the last 10 to 15 years. Okay, तो अगर मैं साइबर क्राइम का बात बोलूं, तो साइबर क्राइम is directly associated with various number of electronic gadgets that we use today. Computer, mobile phones, and the internet today have changed the modern life because they have directly is very much provided us with various number of benefits. However, we see that the information technology also makes us vulnerable to a wide range of threats. And these threats may directly result in various number of financial loss or damage to our reputation. And a simple and a minor lapse in managing our digital lives can open the door to various number of cyber criminals. So it is very much extremely important to know how to prevent this number of cyber crimes. तो अगर मैं एक साइबर क्राइम का सिंपल डेफिनेशन दूं एक लाइन का, तो वो क्या होगा? A cybercrime is a crime involving computer and networks. और अगर मैं एक broad definition दूं lawfully, तो उसको क्या बोलेंगे? Cybercrime may be defined as any unlawful act where computer or communication device or computer network is used to commit or facilitate the commission of a crime. तो ये उसका broad definition है according to some of the legalized way. लेकिन अगर मैं short में बोलूं तो cybercrime is a crime involving computer and networks. बस. Okay, so therefore we can see that in this world of cybercrime we have got two main types of cybercrimes. एक cybercrime क्या होता है? Criminal activity that targets the computers. और एक criminal activity that uses the computers. एक target करेगा और एक use करेगा तुम्हारा कंप्यूटर को to do some number of cybercrimes. तो इसीलिए we have got a list of cybercrimes. आज अगर मैं एग्जांपल्स जो साइबर क्राइम का, तो मतलब कम से कम 20-25 तो साइबर क्राइम का एग्जांपल्स मिलेगा मुझे. इफ टुडे आई हैव सीन अबाउट द साइबर क्राइम्स, वी कैन सी द चाइल्ड पोर्नोग्राफी और CSAM, दैट इज द चाइल्ड सेक्सुअली अब्यूजिव मटेरियल्स. ओके, साइबर बुलिंग, साइबर स्टॉकिंग, साइबर ग्रूमिंग, ऑनलाइन जॉब फ्रॉड, ऑनलाइन सेक्सटॉर्शन, ओके, फिशिंग, विशिंग, स्मिशिंग, सेक्सटिंग, सिम स्वैप स्कैम, क्रेडिट कार्ड फ्रॉड और डेबिट कार्ड फ्रॉड, ये तो कॉमन होता है हम लोग का. ठीक है, इंपर्सनेशन एंड आइडेंटिटी थेफ्ट, स्पैमिंग, रैंसमवेयर, ओके, वायरसेस, डाटा ब्रीच, डिनायल ऑफ सर्विस अटैक, वेबसाइट डिफेमेशन, साइबर स्क्वैटिंग, फार्मिंग, क्रिप्टोजैकिंग, ऑनलाइन ड्रग ट्रैफिकिंग, एस्पियोनाज, ये क्या है? सब साइबर क्राइम है. तो मैं अभी कम से कम 24-25 तो तुम्हें यहां पे बोल दिया. एंड देयर आर लॉट मेनी मोर व्हिच डायरेक्टली इंक्लूड्स दिस नंबर ऑफ साइबर क्राइम्स. तो आज हम लोग का we have got a process to directly identify cybercrime, to directly report cybercrime in the National Crime Reporting Portal of India. ओके तो हम लोग डायरेक्टली वेबसाइट लिंक पे जाके हम लोग वहां पे कंप्लेंट दे सकते हैं नेशनल क्राइम रिपोर्टिंग पोर्टल में। ओके ऑल्सो वी कुड सी दैट देयर इज अ पर्टिकुलर साइबर हेल्पलाइन नंबर, उसको बोलते हैं हम लोग 155260। ओके तो ये साइबर हेल्पलाइन नंबर है, तो इसके थ्रू से वी आर डायरेक्टली हैविंग ऑन। देन हम लोग का एक एजेंसी है दैट इज नोन एज द CERT। ओके CERT दैट इज द कंप्यूटर इमरजेंसी रिस्पांस टीम IN दैट इज इंडिया। तो वो भी मॉनिटर क्या करते हैं, इट इज डायरेक्टली कमिंग अंडर द मेटी डिपार्टमेंट दैट इज द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एंड इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी। तो इट्स a nodal agency for responding to computer security incidents as and when they occur। सो ये जनवरी 2004 से हम लोग का यहाँ पे चल रहा है। ओके तो ये लोग बहुत सारा कलेक्शन एनालिसिस ओके फोरकास्ट करते हैं, इमरजेंसी मेजर्स का काम करते हैं। ठीक है इट ऑल्सो यूज गाइडलाइंस, इट ऑल्सो कोऑर्डिनेट्स, इट इशू एडवाइसेस, तो ये सब काम करते हैं यहाँ। So therefore, in this particular thing of cybercrime, we know that we have got a very good rights। अभी तुम यहाँ पे मैप पे भी देख सकते हो। Okay, the number of cases cyber wise, तो उत्तर प्रदेश में ज्यादा है, महाराष्ट्र में ज्यादा है, कर्नाटका में ज्यादा है, केरला में है। ओके इन दिस वेरी एरिया ऑफ उड़ीसा है, थोड़ा बहुत हम लोग का नॉर्थ ईस्ट में देख लो तो असम में बहुत ज्यादा है। तो वी कैन सी दैट वी हैव गॉट टू नंबर ऑफ केसेस बट वी हैव गॉट लेस नंबर ऑफ चार्जशीटिंग केस, वी हैव लेस नंबर ऑफ कन्विक्शन रेट। तो यहाँ पे चार्जशीट कम होता है, स्लो व्हील्स ऑफ जस्टिस यहाँ पे फॉलो होता है। तो अभी यहाँ पे देख सकते हो कि ओनली 27% ऑफ चार्जशीट है, अभी तक फाइनलाइज हुआ ही नहीं है। ओके वी कैन सी दैट ओनली 6 हैव बीन कंप्लीटेड एंड 98% केसेस आर स्टिल पेंडिंग। तो बहुत सारा हम लोग का यहाँ पे तरक्की करने का हम लोग का यहाँ पे जरूरत है। बिकॉज टुडे इफ यू सी अबाउट द साइबर लॉज इन इंडिया वी हैव गॉटन वन लॉ। एक क्या है हम लोग का IT एक्ट ऑफ 2000 इज द मेन लॉ कनेक्टेड विद साइबर सिक्योरिटी इन इंडिया। और एक होता है जैसे क्रिमिनल अब्यूज में हम लोग देखते हैं कि इंडियन पेनल कोड 1860 इज आल्सो यूज्ड टू बुक क्रिमिनल्स कनेक्टेड विद साइबर क्राइम्स। ओके सो लेकिन टुडे वी हैव गॉट अ lesson security policy of cyber warfare through which because of which the number of cyber crimes are slowly rising। तो हम लोग को ये क्या करना पड़ेगा, वी हैव टू डायरेक्टली इश्यू और वी हैव टू डायरेक्टली मेक our particular systems, our particular softwares, our particular hardwares, our particular government should directly take some of these steps to even increase the number of charge sheeted cases and the number of convicted cases। तो ये बढ़ाना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो हम लोग का ये साइबर क्राइम चलता जाता है। इट्स अ कंटिन्यूअस प्रोसेस, इट्स अ टेनियस प्रोसेस दैट इज रन टुडे in the whole world। Sitting in any particular location you could directly go for such number of crimes without the capturation of the respective criminal। okay तो ये एक process है about cybercrime which we have directly seen in the recent past getting and respective increase okay of the number of cyber crimes in some of the major cities, in some of the major towns, in some of the major areas where the respective allocations of e-commerce, the respective penetration of the like the mobile phones or computers are directly in a maximum term। okay तो ये जाता है हम लोग का डायरेक्टली विद रिस्पेक्टिव टू साइबर क्राइम। ओके तो नेक्स्ट आते हैं हम लोग एक लास्ट टॉपिक पे दैट इज अबाउट द थिंग व्हिच इज नोन एज द विथड्रॉल ऑफ द डाटा बिल वाज अ बैड मूव। तो अगर मैं अबाउट डाटा बिल के बारे में बोलूं ओके दैट इज द विथड्रॉल ऑफ द पर्सनल डाटा बिल। तो वी कुड सी दैट टुडे इफ वी सी अबाउट द पर्सनल डाटा बिल or personal data protection bill of 2019 which was introduced in the Lok Sabha by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology। ये क्या करते हैं, it commonly referred to as the privacy bill and it intended to protect the individual right by regulating the collection, movement and processing of data that is personal or which can identify the individual। लेकिन this particular data bill has directly gone with various number of challenges। okay because we know that this direct data bill which is directly said as a privacy bill, many contend that this physical location of the data is not relevant in the cyber world। as we can see that is directly the outreach of the national agencies is very much of supreme। also the national security or regional purpose are very much open-ended and related to subjective terms which may lead to some form of intrusion of the state into some of the private lives of the citizens। So today, if you have to directly analyze this private bill, this is directly a very mandate of the government to introduce or to directly implement or to directly make an access to our private life। तो लोग ऐसे तो बोलते ही है गवर्नमेंट की कि डेमोक्रेसी इज और प्राइवेसी इज जस्ट अ मिथ। ओके लोग बोलते ही है ऐसे आज। ओके तो प्राइवेसी इज जस्ट अ मिथ जस्ट लाइक डेमोक्रेसी। तो लोग बोलते हैं ऐसे कि प्राइवेसी आज गवर्नमेंट जो चाहते हैं वो हम लोग के साथ कर सकते हैं। इवन देयर इज अ पर्टिकुलर इशू व्हेन द आधार वाज इशूड क्योंकि वहां पे तुम्हारा जितने भी प्राइवेसी इंफॉर्मेशन है सब डायरेक्टली लिंक्ड होता है कहां पे, आधार के साथ. So here we could see that even some of the technological giants like Facebook and Google are against this particular bill. And it criticized that the protectionist policy of data localization is very much having a domino effect in other countries of the South Asia as well. So therefore, we can see that this bill has been withdrawn because here there are too many number of amendments. 81 amendments were proposed, and out of these 81 amendments, some 12 recommendations were directly made to make it comprehensive legal framework on the digital ecosystem. So इसी के लिए ये इसको हमको withdraw करना पड़ा. Also, we could see about the compliance intensive. The bill was also seen as being too compliance intensive. That means by the startups of the country. That means it will be much easier to comply with, especially for startups. तो यहाँ पे तो एकदम ज्यादा से ज्यादा वो हो जाएगा. यहाँ पे टोटली जो प्राइवेसी डाटाज है ये सब वो लोग शेयर करने लगेंगे किसके साथ, गवर्नमेंट के साथ. So today we can see that also because in the delay implementation, because यहाँ पे बहुत सारा amendments हो गया था, गवर्नमेंट डिले कर रहे थे. So we could see that यहाँ पे जितने भी हम लोग का लोकलाइजेशन है, डाटा लोकलाइजेशन, the government may also consider allowing cross-border data flows only to some of the trusted geographies. नहीं तो हमारा जितना भी इंफॉर्मेशन है सब पाकिस्तान लेके चला जाएगा, सब चाइना लेके चला जाएगा, अगर यहाँ पे एक ओपन सोर्स हो गया. Okay. Also, the various data that was introduced in this very bill, okay, with respect to form personal data, इसको भी हम लोग को थोड़ा बहुत कंट्रोल में रखना पड़ेगा, so that we could have a compromised entity towards our own national figures. Okay, so therefore we could see that ये एक right to privacy का issue. Okay, this particular bill is directly associated with the right to privacy. और अगर हम लोग बोले about our fundamental right being the right to privacy, which is clearly enshrined under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. Because if we see about the right to privacy, in the Puttaswamy versus Union of India case, that was in 2017, ये आया था आधार के टाइम में ही, the right to privacy was declared as a fundamental right by the Supreme Court. Okay, so उससे पहले हम लोग का right to privacy एक fundamental right नहीं था. लेकिन Puttaswamy versus Union of India case of 2017, the right to privacy was declared as a fundamental right by the Supreme Court. And hence it was protected as an intrinsic part of the right to life and personal liberty, which is directly under Article 21. So privacy safeguards individual's autonomy and recognizes one's ability to control vital aspects of his or her life. And hence we can see that privacy is not an absolute right, but any invasion must be based on legality, need, and proportionality. So therefore, we can see that this particular case of Justice K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India, the case unanimously affirmed that right to privacy is a fundamental right under the Indian Constitution. And hence, it was categorized under what? The Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. So because the government is directly tending to access more and more localized information of an individual, therefore ये जो privacy bill है ये successful नहीं हो पाया और government को इसीलिए इसको withdraw करना पड़ा. Okay, लेकिन अभी थोड़ा debate चल रहा है कि was this a bad move, was this a good move? तो time will say. With respective to the time period, it will say that was it a bad move or was it a good move for the respective government to withdraw this respective bill. लेकिन anything which directly makes the privacy or anything which directly affects the privacy of an individual, which is a fundamental right, cannot be come into force. तो ये एक थोड़ा एनालिसिस है about the right to privacy, about this respective bill, and why there is a particular debate going on with respective to this particular withdrawal. Okay, so that's all for today. Okay, we can see the respective number of questions. You could directly attempt that and you could directly find the respective answers in our particular Telegram channel. Okay, so thank you all for today. Goodbye. We'll meet again with the same analysis, same type of analysis tomorrow. Okay, thank you and Jai Hind.